Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at a car that smoked my Ferrari in A+ class a few videos back. That is going to be the 67 Chevy Camaro SS. So for an A+ car at $269, we're going to do something a little silly with this build. I don't know if this is the build that beat me, but this is the build I made, and I'm going to find out if it can actually race or not today. But for the engine, you are going to swap in the 2.0 liter inline-4 hybrid. Now, be prepared because this engine will set you back $299,000 for a $30,000 car. Okay, for the parts, we leave it on the Pro induction. We have the Super ECU, the Pro fuel system, the Super exhaust, the Super screw supercharger, with the Sport nitrous. The suspension is basic, the brakes are basic, the tires are basic. We have the Elite clutch. We have the 5-speed Sport gearbox with the Elite differential, and then Super nitrous drift is probably the only one you're going to need, but I also have grip on here too. For the handling, it is set to 20% grip, which is as high as you can get it to go with this build. Steering sensitivity is all the way up. The downforce is 1 to the left. Traction control is off, and drift entry is set to brake tap. That will give us a top speed of 199 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 of 5.2, and a quarter mile of 12.7. But we also have 924 foot-pounds of torque and 805 horsepower. Now let's go find out if this thing can race. And then I've got an S build for you using the same engine. Alright, so here we go down a fairly straight race here. We are going to see if this thing can handle or not. At least we're going up against an Eclipse, which is a really good car in this class, and a rental car. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this thing is going to slide off the launch. That is for darn sure. But once it gets going, then it is definitely just gonna... Will this guy get out of my way? That'd be wonderful. There we go. Stay out of the way. You'd think that I can't even speak today. You'd think the Eclipse would be much further gone than what it is already, but it is not, thankfully. I'm hoping to be able to catch it. And just so you know, this car does not turn at all. It kind of just... If you need to turn, you're going to have to probably drift to do it. And you just better hope you don't crash. Alright, come on. Get through these speeds. We can do this. We can catch this guy. We can win this race. I know we can. At least that's what everything tells me. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I thought that was him. I guess not. That Eclipse is just gone. I really thought this build was going to do a lot better here. It's just I'm not getting enough people to get burst off of, and that's one of the biggest problems. That Eclipse is really good and has a pretty good top speed itself. I can't get to the top speed right now. I don't have enough burst NOS, and there's the end of the race. And okay, there they finished. Oh, I started to get close to the top speed right there at the end. So not a real good showing for that first race. I lost by 7 seconds there, it looks like. Let's see if these other two races have better luck. Alright, let us try this race, and hopefully I'll have better success. After the last race, though, I'm not really holding my breath. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to draft for as long as I can off of this car. Which wasn't too long. So like I said, this car will not turn on its own. You will have to drift pretty much every single corner. Well, I guess I didn't have to drift those at least. I did overdrift there, so that's not good. That was mostly my fault, but a little bit the car. And I really think the Eclipse is going to win this. But we'll find out. If you have the burst NOS, use it coming out of the corners. It'll help you get through it. It'll also help you straighten out. But this car is also kind of weird because it kind of sticks in second gear forever. And then eventually it'll switch to third gear and it'll go into fourth just fine. But yeah, that was without even trying to drift there. Yeah. So it's really looking like the Eclipse has this race unless something major happens. This car was doing good in testing when I was playing around with getting it up to speed and everything. I mean, it was flying up to 200 when I was testing with it, but I was also getting a lot more burst NOS than I am right now. There we go. Down the best jump in the game, or one of the best jumps. Oh, that was close. See, I could not make that turn, and then that car was there, and it was just pointless to even try and just do anything to save it at that point. Yeah. I'm gonna call it now. Don't build this car. Just don't. Alright, the last race for the A+ version of this car. I really just want to put this car out of its misery. I have made a few builds trying to replicate a good A+ build in this car, and I have just not been able to do it. I thought maybe I was onto something with this one, and I was wrong. And I messed up the launch. I'm wondering if the rental car will beat me this time. I mean, it would stand to reason. Why not? Alright, so rental car is keeping up with me pretty well. And, oh, that's a lot of traffic right there. That would have been great to get some NOS off of it, but that wasn't in the cards. At least I've started to pull away from the rentals, so that's something. And that Eclipse is just pulling right now. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this car right now, unfortunately. It's just not performing to what I thought it would do. And I guess I shouldn't be too surprised by that, but I am a little bit for whatever reason. Like I said, this car doesn't handle. I was not kidding when I said that. Oh, that was lucky I didn't just crash out. A nice straightaway, but it's not going to matter because I'm not going to get anywhere near the top speed of this car, probably. And then here comes this corner to help slow me down. Oof, oof, oof. That was pure luck is what that was. There was no skill involved in that at all. That was just luck. Alright, so there's the A+ build on this car. Somebody show me a good build for this car, please. I mean, it obviously exists. I've seen it. I just can't build it. So if you know of a good one, let me know so I can check it out and see what the heck it is I'm doing wrong. I'm going to go slap in the parts for S-Class, and We'll see if we can do any better there. Alright, so here we are with the S-Class build for the 67 Camaro. For the engine, we are going to stick with that 2.0 liter inline-4 hybrid. For the parts, Elite induction, Elite ECU, Elite fuel system, Elite exhaust, Elite screw supercharger, and then Pro nitrous. And then that's the basic suspension, basic brakes, basic tires, Elite clutch, the Sport 5-speed gearbox with the Elite differential, and then of course this stuff. The handling on this one, we stick with 20% grip, steering sensitivity all the way up, downforce 4 to the left, traction control off, and drift entry set to brake tap. This will give us a really high top speed of 232 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 of 5.3, and a quarter mile 12.6, with 1,319 foot-pounds of torque and 1,313 horsepower. So the weird thing with this build is it kind of gets bogged down in second gear. You'll be up well over 100 miles before you even switch into third gear, but then third and fourth are fine. I have not raced this in S yet, so let's go find out just how, I have a sneaking suspicion, how poorly this will perform. Okay, so I am racing against a Ford GT, which I wouldn't be surprised if I finally lost to one of those, and a Panamera Turbo, which I've never seen anybody use. I've kind of looked into building one, but I haven't played around with it enough to have a good build. So yeah, let's check this S-Class build out, and we'll go. Oh, the Turbo just sat there, so I guess they're not actually racing, so never mind. And there goes the GT. It is off. Oh, it wrecked though. It done wrecked. I wrecked because this car doesn't turn at all. It does leave one heck of a skid mark behind it though. Honestly, this car reminds me a little bit of the Volkswagen Golf before they nerfed it. So there is that as a slight comparison. And I do have to just drift these corners, or it just won't go any direction I want it to. And yeah, I'll go through the gas station to get the refill and see if I can maybe catch the GT. I'm not having too... Oh god, I forgot to just drift it, you know? And you gotta watch out, because it will want to overdrift on you too. So I really think if I hadn't wrecked, that maybe this would be a slightly different story as far as how the race is going. But this is 100% what I expected with this car. It is just a build I made because it is ridiculous. And that is about it. Like, there is nothing more to it than that. I thought it was ridiculous. I knew it wouldn't handle, so I was like, what the heck, let's build it. We'll make a car that can go 230 miles per hour in the S-Class, but it'll never get there. Alright, so there is race 1. And we'll see how the second one of these goes. I'm not expecting anything better than what I just had. Okay, so here we are in Smoke Show, which is honestly a lot more windy turny, so I do expect to get smoked on the Smoke Show by that GT. And we know the Panamera is not going to do anything. At least I didn't mess up the launch, so that's a plus. Hey, it drifted itself on that corner, so that's kind of cool. And it drifted itself there, too. Oh, the GT went into the cars. Oh, look at that beautiful drift, though. I mean, honestly, this might just make a good drift car. Like, that might be something I look into with it. Just see if it could be a drift car or not. Ah! I didn't want to drift there. Alright. I'm calling it. Do not build this car ever for racing purposes. I don't know how that... I mean, obviously the GT messed up somewhere, but I don't know how I'm this close to him right now. I really should not be this close. And we'll see. We've got the second lap going. Hey, give me a little burst. Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. If you're going to sit there, you could at least do something useful. Man, I tell you though, if this was a drag car, I think it would win. Like, it's slow off the line, but once it gets going through those gears, it is a beast. Like, test it on a highway and the top speed is just insane. Like, it gets to 200 in no time if you can get some bursts. And, you know, not screw up down the straightaways. Okay, he did make it around. I mean, look at this. It is climbing to 200 like nothing. The problem is it just doesn't corner and it takes forever to get up there. So, the handling problem could be solved. I could dial back on some of the speed and put in some handling parts, and that might help. But really, I just wanted to build the absurd version of this car like I did right here, just for fun. And it's performing exactly how I expected it to. So, no surprises. So yeah, don't buy this car. Don't waste $299,000 on the engine swap like I did. Just don't do this. Seriously, just save your money, build something else. There's no reason to build this car in any class for any reason ever. Unless somebody can get to me with that A+ build that was smoking in one of my previous videos. Like, that I want to know. I want to know what that was built with. But this car just ain't worth it. So I'm not even going to bother with showing the final race on this. Alright, so I went through and I improved the handling on this car, and it was still hot garbage. I lowered the top speed. It went down about 15 miles per hour, and then obviously the torque and horsepower came down too. But the car still just wasn't viable, and I am sick of this car. I have tried so many builds with this car, and I just cannot make a good one. So I'm going to show you what I think of this car. What I think of this car is this right here. Sell it. Get rid of it. Don't buy it. I hate this car. I don't know why anybody would ever buy it. Alright. That all being said, that's going to do it for me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments down below, smash the like button, and I will catch you in the next one.